Braun Strowman's on a holy tear, tearing up everything. And Enzo's in sensitivity classes. And, well, I'm almost out of beer. Welcome back, everyone. JAYBONE here. Smash This podcast. Going to be talking some Roadblock End of the Line and some of the fallout from tonight on Raw. And joining me tonight, one of my fellow ramblers, the biggest heel in the room, Mr. Max Magius. How the hell you doing, man?
Dude, do you really think any of our listeners care that you are almost out of beer after what happened last night?
Oh, it's kind of like, it's like my medicine, you know? It's gets me through the day. It's the beer of JAYBONE. Drink it in, man.
Hey, you know, that reminds me, you know, and just remember you brought this on yourself. Things that are cheaper than Jericho's scarf. Your annual supply of beer.
I'll drink to that. Absolutely.
Things that are cheaper than Jericho's scarf. That near loss your team had yesterday. Yeah, they won by a field goal, but they almost blew it. They were up by 17 points. What happened, man?
Hey, we squeaked out a win, and that's all that matters in the end. I don't care. It's the greatest rivalry in football today, and I was on the edge of my seat through the whole game. So, hey, what can I say? Aaron and Jordy pulled out a hot one. So, it's getting close, man. End of the season's coming. All right. Let's jump in.
On the subject of football for 2 seconds.
Okay.
So, I'm in the playoffs in my league, right?
All right.
My league, I mean, I created this league because Rowdy needed one more league to hit his annual 10 team league.
Okay.
So every year he's 10 leagues is what he's got. He wants to be in 10 leagues. I'm okay with it. You know, that's what he wants. That's what he gets. So I created the league just so he'd have one.
Mm-hmm.
Have his number 10. And there's one guy in the league, a friend of ours, mutual friend, and this guy has dominated the entire season. Went 12-1.
Wow.
So as we go to the playoffs, and I've seen what my stats have been and what my numbers were, I've dominated a few people. My standings aren't perfect, but overall I was third place in the league. Second place in my right behind the guy that has just run through everybody all season except for one game. So it looked like the final game was going to be either me versus him or Barr versus him, because Barr's in the league too.
Okay.
So I checked the numbers tonight. I squeaked out a victory over Barr by 12 points. First place guy in the league lost to a guy that was 6-7 on his regular season record. So I've got to beat one of the weakest players in playoffs next week, and I take the championship in my own league.
Yeah, I never got into that stuff, but hey, that's cool, man.
It's D&D for sports people.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. So, what did you think of Roadblock, man? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you happy with the results? Did it suck? What do you think, dude?
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't watch the pre-show.
Neither did I, dude. I mean, it was pretty much a throwaway match. We got another one tonight just like it, but whatever.
You know, I'm going to be clear that for me, that the I wanted to is kind of like that scene in Man of the Year, you know, the Robin Williams movie where he runs for president, where he goes, I didn't have sex with that woman. I wanted to, but I didn't. I actually did want to see this match. Anybody that's listened to me knows I'm a huge fan of Enzo and Big Cat. But I missed that match. As far as the rest of the show, overall, I thought it was pretty good. Some predictability. The one thing on the rest of the card, though, that kind of bothered me, I guess, was a spot in the triple threat match. Other than that, I really didn't see anything that I actually disliked in this entire card. I was a little concerned when I saw Foley bring down that terrible towel, but if you know Sami Zayn as well as a true WWE fan does, you knew that towel wasn't getting thrown.
Yeah, yeah. A little surprised he was off tonight.
Sami Zayn was off tonight?
Yeah, yeah. He was not around.
Well, if you had just survived 10 minutes with that monster, wouldn't you want the next day off?
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to show up to catch the repercussions. So yeah.
Yeah, you don't want the receipt, but your body's already feeling the damage that you already took. I'd take the entire week off. This next weekend's Christmas. Take the weekend off too. We'll see you after the New Year, Sammy.
Yeah, he can head back down to Mexico where he was helping the little kid. Oh no, that was that other guy. El Generico. That was that
guy. Why? I don't know why you people get these two confused. Okay,
I always get Sami Zayn and El Generico confused.
You've got a ginger Canadian and a masked Mexican. I don't understand the confusion here.
It's
clearly it's like the time you guys got Edge and Christian confused with Los Conquistadors, or Primo and Epico with the Matadors.
But never mind. I digress.
With good wrestlers. While we're on the subject of Sami Zayn, though, did you watch Raw last week?
Yeah.
Did you see the part with Sami Zayn where he finally got his match with Braun Strowman for Roadblock?
Oh yeah. That was actually one of the highlights of the Raw last week. Yeah.
Did you catch the insult?
Oh man, there was so much stuff that was said in that promo. Refresh my memory.
No. The insult. The rest of it was kind of gimmicked up storyline, joking type stuff. But storyline or not, the one comment that Foley said was probably the worst insult you could ever give to anybody. And by that, I mean, if I walked up to Man Mountain Rock and said it to him, and you remember that guy, I mean, that guy was a horrible wrestler. Even he would be offended by it.
What did he say?
Sami Zayn that the trade had already been approved and they had a wrestler of equal talent.
Oh, yeah. Eva Marie.
Eva Marie.
Yeah.
And I agree with what Sami Zayn said. He's worth 1,000 Eva Maries.
Yeah.
But if there were 1,000 Eva Maries walking around, I probably would have killed myself. Let's just be clear.
Dear God. That'd be crazy.
But fire that lit under Sami Zayn, I think that might have been what allowed him to survive 10 minutes. On the other hand, if Braun hadn't played with his food.
Yeah, you know how, mommy always tells you not to play with your food. Well, yeah,
Well, it bit him in the ass this time.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And
actually, a couple of minutes where it was just a typical Braun Strowman beatdown. Outside of that first few minutes, this match was actually a haluva match.
It was all right. I mean, Braun Strowman destroyed him, but
that was the early on part. Once Sami Zayn fought back a little bit, you could see that he wasn't doing as much damage as he would have liked, but he was rocking the big man a little bit. And he was showing that size doesn't always mean everything.
Yeah, the end was so anticlimactic. That's the only thing that really bothered me about that match. Is he lasted 10 minutes and then they and I know that was the stipulation,
right?
That he had to last 10 minutes.
10 minutes was the deal. He either loses to Braun Strowman or he survives 10 minutes. There was no Sami Zayn beats Braun Strowman in the discussion for this match. The discussion was either Braun beats you or you last 10 minutes. You have to last 10 minutes to get the win.
Yeah.
There's no, you get a pinfall on Braun, you win. There was nothing. Sami Zayn's only way of winning that match was making the time limit.
Lasting to 10 minutes, yeah.
Right. What I'm saying is when Sami, basically right after he got rid of the towel so Foley couldn't throw it in for him, once he started doing that, once he started fighting back at that point, to me, this became a match. This was no longer that match that we're not talking about from earlier in the year that we hashed our differences out on already. To me, it became an actual match. It wasn't just a big guy throwing a beating down.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what made it so special after the towel was gotten rid of.
Yeah,
who's that guy over in Lucha Underground that you really like? He became the champion. Like, he was a big dude.
Oh, Matanza?
Yeah, that guy, Matanza.
Yeah.
Is that his name? The really big guy that became the champ? The Abyss-looking guy?
He's the one in the well, there's a couple of masked guys that have been champ. Bill Muertes was also champ for a while.
Yeah, but he's not the big guy. He was probably one of the biggest before this guy came along. But this guy is looks a little bit like Abyss. I mean, this guy is big show size compared to the rest of Lucha Underground.
Well, there's not too many of those. There's some bigger guys, but
I think it's Matanza.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. Yeah, Matanza just, I mean, he's a big guy. He's just not that, he's not that tall. But he's a big guy nonetheless, yeah. Powerful guy.
Huge.
Yeah.
And compared to the rest of those guys he takes on, this guy is the big show of the league. And I think you're right. I think it's Matanza that I'm referring to. But he's no longer the champion, is he?
No, right now Johnny Mundo is champ. Or to WWE fans out there, John Morrison.
Okay. So what I'm getting at, though, is you don't have to be a big guy to win it. Being the big guy only goes so far, and hell, he dropped it to a woman. Matanza dropped it to Sexy Star.
Well, yeah, but there was a lot of people in that match.
Oh, and to be fair, she dropped it to Johnny Mundo.
Please don't give me any more spoilers.
I thought it said these were the air dates. I apologize.
La 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 la.
I apologize. I did not realize those were spoilers until after I read those off and heard you say, don't give me any more spoilers. Then I looked over and it says this episode has yet to be aired.
I love you, Max. Always healing it up.
And for all our listeners, I am sorry for giving you spoilers. That really was not my intention. I was making a point.
That's okay.
Matanza, right?
What's that?
Sexy Star was the one that basically defeated Matanza, right?
Well, Matanza lost his championship in Aztec Warfare.
Which it says, Sexy Star lastly eliminated Mil Muertes to win the championship. And this one aired on tape delay back in November of this year, right?
Those were the last two in the ring of the whole shebang, yeah.
Right. My point being, though, that at some point she had to put her hands on Matanza and she survived and became the winner.
She actually, I believe she pinned him, but she didn't put like the final fork in him. There was a lot of people that put moves on him, and then she basically fell on him and beat him.
Let's be fair, though. You and I would both love to have Sexy Star put her hands on us.
Yeah, I just would not want to catch the repercussions of her husband, who is a professional fighter. Anyways, back to Roadblock.
I didn't say do it. I said we'd love it if she did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
So, but the point I'm making is once Sami Zayn started fighting, it became a match, and he was rocking the guy. You don't have to be the biggest dog in the fight. You've just got to find a way around the strength, and Sami did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a matter of being the quicker, better fighter. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still shocked that he won that one. I was how I would have booked it, me personally, I would have booked it that Braun Strowman won. And then Mick Foley the next night on Raw, which tonight he would have been like, you know what, you really disappointed me. We're gonna trade you anyways, and then ends up trading him to SmackDown. That's how I envisioned it all happening. Because as soon as I put that little concept of him being traded and actually told that to the public, man, did that get a pop. Oh, were people excited about that. But, we'll see what happens. I like what's happening with Strowman, though. Holy cow, did he decimate a lot of people tonight. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
And it also helped make Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens look strong. Because how the show ended last night shouldn't have ended like that. That was basically okay, we have to send the crowd home happy finish. We shouldn't have gotten that, in my opinion. What did you think about that ending last night? I'm just going to kind of jump all over the pay-per-view. What did you think about that ending last night?
I'm sorry, which match did you ask me what I thought of the ending on?
The last match. The ending where Kevin Owens retained, but then everybody got power bombed through tables.
I'm not really upset by it, honestly. And let me tell you why. Okay. First off, how the match ended. Okay. How are you going to save Kevin Owens' title and not have to put it on Roman Reigns without making either man look weak by taking a loss in this match? You got to come up with some kind of screw job finish. Having the best friend who's been very angry with his best friend for weeks come out and attack the champion to give him the win via disqualification, genius, in my opinion. Jericho got into that ring. He looked at Reigns. He looked at Owens. He looked at Reigns. He looked at Owens. Who did he attack? He attacked his best friend. Why? Because it gave Kevin Owens the win via disqualification. Okay?
Yeah.
Second, the table point that you brought up, everyone getting put through tables. How many tables did they have at the start of the show?
Are you talking about at ringside?
Total commentary tables. How many outside of the Chinese and Japanese guys that are off behind the fans in the actually out in the audience? How many commentary tables did they have that were inside the confines of the barricades?
Next to the ring at ringside, I believe they have 3 at ringside. And then
two.
Is it 2? I thought it was 3.
2 at ringside.
Oh, 2 at ringside, and then Cole and Graves is up on the entrance stage.
How many of those tables were left standing at the end of the night?
I think they were all done. I think
they were all done.
Yeah.
Somebody went through each and every one of those tables. Now, why do I like this so much? I'm glad you asked that, J-Bone. I'm going to tell you.
Why did you like it so much?
Thank you.
I can take a hint.
The Spanish announce table has been called the prop table for how long? Now you've got your German announce team down there sitting right next to them, and their table has been used as a prop.
Oh, poor Germany. Jeez Louise.
Moved the regular announce table up to the top. Why? Because they got tired of losing their table. But you know what? Let's not leave them out of the fun. Gentlemen, thank you for sacrificing your table. Let's go up there. Every table got used. Every table got equal airtime in the end. I thought it was great. I loved watching Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns work together in this. Honestly, I really hope that we have set up for a return of the Shield here down the road. Not necessarily now, because right now someone's a little busy with the SmackDown heavyweight title. But wouldn't it be cool if, say, Royal Rumble, we have a full-on Shield reunion and they all come out together?
Oh, we get these little hints once in a while, like we did at the last. What was that? Oh, the tribute to the troops. We got a little tease. They were hanging out, and yeah, for like a couple seconds, and then left. Yeah, so you know it's gonna happen, but you just don't know when.
Survivor Series was more than a tease.
Oh well, yeah.
I mean, that might have been the coolest power bomb in 2 years. But I liked the end. I thought it was well played out. I actually think that they gave us everything we were hoping for in that main event and more. Despite the fact that we didn't get to see an actual ending to the match, they still gave us everything we were hoping for in spite of that.
Well, yeah, and I think they're still trying to they're fighting the fans so much because Reigns still gets booed so badly, and they're trying to flip that around. And they're like, well, if we keep putting Rollins with him, maybe that'll sway them. And you get, depending on the city they're in, sometimes you can tell it works a little. Like tonight, it worked a little, not a lot, but a little.
Rowdy and I were talking about this last night.
Yeah.
Wants Cena to go heel. I disagree. Here's part of my reason. The man is successful in that ring as a face because half of your crowd loves him for what he does, and the other half is like, fuck this goody-goody. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what makes him so good on the in-ring side of it. Now, outside of the ring, this man legitimately puts in more hours than half the roster combined on charity stuff. Okay? Could he still do Make-A-Wish and the other charities that he does? Sure. People have shown us when Ziggler was a heel, him doing Make-A-Wish stuff. Miz getting Make-A-Wish stuff. But
the Wyatts do, yeah.
Right. But how much do the heels get requested versus how much does John Cena get requested? Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sure John Cena gets more, but you never really see those numbers. You know, the WWE will put out features once in a while saying, oh, this group of WWE superstars visited a hospital today. And you see stuff like that, you know.
The WWE will only put out a percentage of what he does, which is about the same amount that he wants people to know about, because that's who he is. He does it for the fan. He doesn't do it for his own recognition. He doesn't do it for himself in any way. He doesn't even do it for the company. He does it for that kid that wants to see John Cena. He does it for that parent that comes up and thanks him for what he's done for the kid. That's what he does it for. He doesn't care about his own recognition or any of that. He does it for that look on the parent's face. When the parent looks down at that kid and goes, my kid is so happy right now.
Yeah.
Okay. If he made a heel turn, he would not get to put in as many hours as he does with charity. He would not get to be an ambassador for Make-A-Wish anymore. And he is probably one of the most well-known ambassadors. In fact, I think I saw something about a year and a half ago that said if you take all the wishes John Cena has granted since he became an ambassador and compared it to all the previous ambassadors from Make-A-Wish, he outdoes most of them, almost all of them.
Well, yeah, he received some kind of award or some kind of thank you from them within the last year or two because he did something like he reached like well over 500 wishes or something to that effect. Yeah, I mean the guy is tremendous.
You can't have someone doing that level of Make-A-Wish stuff and charity stuff if you turn them heel. They can still do the stuff.
Yeah.
But what's more important to John Cena right now? Being the champion or doing the Make-A-Wish? Because I guarantee you, every damn time he's gonna, if he's offered a championship match or go take care of a Make-A-Wish kid, he's gonna ask them, "Can you put somebody else in the title match? I need to go see this kid."
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, now, look what he does at look what he does at WrestleMania every year. He does that that special meal with all the kids. He invites a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids and has a pizza party every year before WrestleMania.
Whereas on the other hand, Roman Reigns, I 100% support turning the man heel. This man, when he left the heavyweight title picture, got a little bit of support back from the fans, but other than that, the fans still boo him when he comes out.
Yeah, and I don't get it. I really don't get it.
It's loud. It's noticeable. Even when the WWE tries to drown it out with cheers and other stuff, you can still hear it. You can still tell those fans are booing for Roman Reigns. Now, I don't get it personally either, but if I was booking in the WWE and I saw the reaction that Roman Reigns gets,
yeah,
I think I'd just give up and go, you know what? Why don't we turn him heel and see what happens? Worst case scenario, you have your new Eddie Guerrero, because now that he's healed, they're going to be like, dude, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to let it. You got to keep it simple. You got to keep it simple with Roman. You can't make him do 15-minute promos. Comes out there, kicks ass. He can be a really good heel. It's not rocket science. You go back and look at what he was in NXT before he went to the main roster. He's very capable of doing it.
You know how long this match was, by the way?
The main event from last night?
Yep.
Oh, gosh. No, I sometimes keep track of them in my notes, but I didn't last night.
Oh, well, it's a good thing I have the Wikipedia up right now. This match lasted from bell to bell, 23 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's average for a main event for a pay-per-view.
Okay, here's my problem with that, though. You almost took away the thunder of the match just before this.
Oh, are you talking about the 30-minute
Iron Woman?
Iron Man match, yeah.
Iron Woman. Yeah, here's the thing. Okay, first off, these two probably shouldn't have gone nearly 30 minutes. These two probably just under 20. If I was booking it, probably would have booked them a 17. So I probably would have told them to go 17 to 19 minutes. Don't go over the 19-minute mark, because we're talking two bigger guys.
Yeah.
We're talking about a match that's going to be high impact versus, something with a little bit of regular pace and something where you can just adjust the pace. These guys are going to be pounding each other. So this match needs to be kept just a touch slower or a touch shorter.
Yeah.
But not only that, you just scheduled your women's championship to be a 30-minute Iron Woman match. Why would you schedule these guys to run close to that time, anywhere near the 30-minute mark? Because in my opinion, you've now taken away from what you've done with those two girls.
I think the fact that you put this kind of stipulation on the women, it it boosts them. It really does. And it's like one of the ultimate things to do to this particular feud, because this feud between Charlotte and Sasha, they've done pretty much everything you could possibly do to it. They've had the Hell in the Cell. They've had, oh God, I can't even remember what they've all had. There was one other
matches.
There was one other one, and I can't even think of what it was. But they had the, and then they had the Iron Man woman, whatever you want to call it, from last night. I think they wanted to keep it called the Iron Man match so that it keeps them looking strong like the men, as in they're equal superstars. You know what I mean? That's why they didn't change the name of it. But
Tommy Dreamer, or was that somebody else?
What's that?
Somebody I know shared a post. I think I know who it was. Hold on. Somebody had talked to Tommy Dreamer about that match.
Okay.
And got a direct message back from Tommy Dreamer. Let's see. Come on. Hurry up. I want to see this post. I want to share it with all of our wonderful, wonderful listeners out there.
Yes. While he's looking at that, I want to remind everyone who's listening, if you like what you hear, if you like Smash This Podcast and the gift of JAYBONE, that sounds horrible. I won't use that. If you like what you hear, hit the like button, share it with your friends, tell people about it, sub to the channel. You never know who's going to show up on here. I didn't even know Max was going to be on here until 5 minutes before he joined. So you never know, folks. You just never know.
They were talking, Tommy Dreamer, and I think we had Tristan on Ramblin' one night. Tristan's the one that's making the Encyclopedia of Colorado Wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he may actually have some WWE stuff in there too.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Tommy Dreamer, I guess, had posted a tweet last night about the Iron Woman match. I don't see it here, though. Looking through his tweets from last night. Oh, here we go. Which actually is kind of what I said. He says, call me old-fashioned, but shouldn't Charlotte versus Sasha be called Iron Woman match? Every detail matters. Every detail matters, WWE Roadblock. So, let's see. Our buddy Tristan, who I know has been on the show at least once on Ramblin'.
Oh, yeah, he's been on a couple times in the past, yeah.
Here we go. From his Twitter page, Pro Wrestling Almanac said, I think calling it Iron Man just goes another step to put the women on an equal footing, which is what you said to me.
Yeah.
So he got a direct message from Tommy Dreamer last night. Said, then make it an hour. That's what Dreamer said in reply to my friend. To our friend.
Yeah.
And Tristan sent him a direct message back and said, the men have had 30-minute Iron Man matches too. Angle versus Michaels and Angle versus Benoit for 2 of them. Well, what's the common thread in those 2 matches? Oh, that's right, Kurt Angle. Kurt, still love you, man. Come back. We miss you on the big stage.
Yeah.
But I agree with Tommy on this. It should be called an Iron Woman match. And if you're going to make it an Iron Man match, let's make it an hour, which is what a typical standard Iron Man match is. Most falls in 60 minutes.
Yeah. That's, I mean, I think fans have changed over the years. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, but I know that's gonna, bring a couple different opinions. Me personally, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I mean that's a long time to sit and watch a match. Did it feel like a long time when you watched Brett versus Shawn? You know what? I haven't watched that one in such a long time.
You should. It was a really good match.
Yeah, that is one I should go back and watch once in a while. I would recommend that to everyone else too. Good match for wrestling history. Well, what did you think of the match they had last night? Did you like it?
Mostly, yes. There was one spot in the match that actually had me really concerned.
Okay.
Charlotte swept Sasha's leg while Sasha was on the apron and Charlotte was still in the ring.
Yeah.
And the thing was, even in the slow motion replay, it looked like she face planted. And I don't mean face bump. There's a difference between face planting and face bumping. Any of you out there that have never trained, a face bump is where you land basically on your chest and your face is protected the entire time. This looked like an actual face plant where her mouth or whatever caught the steps.
Oh, it looked
brutal.
It did. It really did.
That was for concern right there. But overall, I thought it was a good match. I thought these two put on one hell of an iron. Whatever. Yeah. They put on a hell of a endurance match.
Yeah. I'm really shocked if that was a planned spot, that's fine. But how it looked like a mishap. And I'm really shocked that like no one went to go check on her. I was really shocked by that. Because usually after a spot like that, the ref at least goes down to quick check and make sure that they're okay. But wow, it's
consideration on this. The referee was pretty close where he was in the ring.
Yeah.
Charlotte was pretty close where she was laying after it happened. You have your Spanish announce table, you have your German announce table that are right there. There are people close enough that with the noise in the arena, they'll still be able to hear what's said, but it won't carry well enough to where the fans can hear it. Charlotte or Sasha probably said, "I'm good, don't come down here."
Could be. Yeah.
She most likely found a way to pass the message. Don't worry about me. I got this.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been a thing where, they told the ref about the spot moments before it too or something. I'd have to go back and watch it again, but yeah.
And I don't think it was that long before either Sasha got back into the ring so she was able to directly communicate and go, "We're good," or Charlotte may have gone out and gotten her. Either way, it wasn't that long before there was a reconnection to where Sasha could be checked.
Yeah.
So, nobody rushed over there. But honestly, if you think about it, some of the stuff that these people do, you don't even always let your crew in on it. I definitely wouldn't tell the security guys that are sitting right there around the ring announcer. I wouldn't say the timekeeper, I wouldn't tell any of them.
Yeah.
All you need to tell those people is this is how, you don't even need to tell them how you're opening it, but it's nice to have, your ring announcer and whatnot know that, but you don't need to. You tell them, the ring announcer, you basically say, I'm going to win via pinfall. I'm going to win via submission. I'm going to win via countout. That's all your ring announcer needs to know. Your timekeeper just needs to know this is what's going to bring about the end of the match so that they're paying attention in time to hit the bell.
Right.
Your commentary team doesn't really need to know anything. One, they've got the mic in the ear where they're getting coached throughout the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was one of those people, let's say I was Carlos Cabrera, because that guy's pretty goddamn cool. Let's be honest.
Cool.
If I was Carlos, okay, he's Mexicool. Okay, I said it.
Oh, okay.
Let's say I'm Carlos Cabrera. All I really know is that this is an Iron Man match because that's what my notes told me before I sat down at the table.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything else. Anything that happens in this match, unless they make it clear there's a problem. And have you ever noticed that when there's actually an injury out there, how quickly are the commentators on top of it?
Oh, yeah.
As far as dropping the mic and going to check on the person.
Yeah.
I've seen JBL do it once.
You know what shocked me, though? Is the announcers from last night, the commentators, did not say anything about, or if I might have missed it, but they didn't say much about the blood. And did you notice that the ref didn't even do anything to stop the match? He just kept it going.
Well, she had a busted lip. That was it.
Yeah.
There was no. It's a mishap. It wasn't like they bled her for the match. It wasn't like they bleeded her or gigged her, whatever the word is that you know it as.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't like they did any of that. It was a mishap that took place. She just busted her lip open and started bleeding. That was it. Unless you get the order from the back, because the referee also has the earpiece. Unless you get the order from the back, you're going to keep that match going. No, we're good. This was accidental. Keep running. The one thing that I did see was the medical personnel came out after the match with their gloves on to make sure that it wasn't too serious.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't like when Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And one of those guys was bleeding pretty well in that match, and they kept interrupting the match. Oh, are you okay? Oh, yeah, he's fine. Get the fuck out of here and let them wrestle.
Yeah, that was Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. There were portions of that match that were really good, but yeah, as many times as they stopped that match, that really killed the momentum of it. That sucked. I understand it's their job, but man. So, all right.
I agree with Steph to an extent. Don't you want us to make sure that our wrestlers are safe for your entertainment? Okay, I agree with that to an extent, but that doesn't mean let's keep stopping the match every 2 minutes. You checked on him; he was fine.
Yeah, at some point you have to trust the wrestler, especially a veteran like Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if there was a problem, a legitimate problem, he'd let us know.
Yeah, yeah. So were you? I can't remember exactly what everybody predicted at during the Rambling About Wrestling podcast prediction show for Roadblock. I think I predicted Charlotte to win. Who did you pick?
Oh, I said at the prediction show that while this might be the perfect opportunity to give her first loss, it was probably going to be Charlotte who won, because if she doesn't win the belt back right now, she's not going to, we're not going to see her move forward in the what I think is going on, where I think that make her break her own father's record.
Yeah. Which will happen in a month.
Tonight, when I said to Rowdy, was who says it has to be a male that beats his championship record?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, I mean, I was happy that Charlotte got it back. I know there's a lot of people that don't like the hot potatoing of the title. In my opinion, if the matches are good, I'm fine with it. And this was a hell of a match. These women kicked the snot out of each other, and it got brutal. It got bloody, and Charlotte squeaked it out at the end. I know there was people that were pissed about it. I saw some reactions. A lot of people didn't like this pay-per-view. I thought it was pretty good, though.
Speaking of reactions, did you see the Miz girl in the audience last night?
No.
Right after Charlotte won the match, they showed this girl in the audience that just looked pissed off and was pouting.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, it reminds me of when the Miz won the title.
They keep doing that lately. They keep showing all these goofy crowd reactions. Some are legit, some are just dumb. Like they showed one tonight during the main event that this girl had her head in her hands, as in she was like the most bored person at the show. It's like, why would you show her?
What was
during
going
the
on
main
in the
event? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it was the tag match, and the tag match had a crap ton of action tonight, so it did make sense.
Maybe she's seen it 50 million times and was bored with it.
Yeah, well.
For me, it was date night, and it was her boyfriend's turn to pick.
No, this was like a little girl like my kid's age, like 10, 12.
Listen, you've got 2 kids. So when you say my kid's age, you got to specify which one, because one of them is a little older than the other.
Well, yeah, my daughter is 16 and my son just turned 11 the other day, so.
See, and that's my point. You know, when you say my kid's age, who do you and I discuss more when we have these conversations?
What's that?
More often than not, who do we discuss when we're talking about one of your kids?
Oh, that's a tough one. I talk about both of them.
When you and I talk about one of your kids, we usually talk about your daughter because of her music, because I mentioned that she resembles a certain celebrity who I'm not going to repeat on air because, oh my God, I don't want the hate mail this time. Stop getting man, your wife's family is brutal, man. I got to tell you. But you
don't mess with
trip that she took. You know, I mean, we talked about we've talked about a lot of things with her. The one thing we talked about concerning your son was when we talked about Deadpool and whether your kids should see it or not.
Oh yeah.
And I said, watch it first, but I don't think it's appropriate for him or maybe. That's the only time you and I have talked about your son on air.
Yeah. My son wanted to see it. He's a big comic book fan, likes the comic book movies, and then because he plays the Lego Marvel and DC movies, he knows a lot more characters that I probably even know now, and just from playing them in the games. And he heard about Deadpool, and I was like, no, you're not seeing this one. Sorry. But and he was fine with it. He understood that it was R. You know,
Deadpool is not even appropriate in the comics. Just for the
record. Yeah. Oh, so hell of a Iron Man women's match, whatever you want to call it, either or. And since
the way the rules read for an Iron Man match.
Okay.
There is a champion's advantage in this.
Oh, sure.
No. My point being, the champion's advantage is technically if you reach the time limit and you're tied, the champion wins. The champion retains, I should say. However, that's not how they worked this match last night.
They kept saying that it was the referee's discretion to continue and end it.
Which means that he didn't follow the standard rules for an Iron Man match, which is fine. I am glad that they went to overtime because I feel like the fans deserved it, number one. Number two, had they not gone to overtime, there would have been the argument that even though this is supposed to be the end of the line for these two, you've left it open where they have to have another match.
Well, yeah.
By going to overtime, you took out that possibility of another match. You have kept this now the end of the line for these two.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
So,
Hell of a feud. One of the best ones of the year, in my opinion. Oh, let's see.
talk about a botch.
What's that?
You want to talk about a botched move? There was a botched move last night in the cruiserweight match.
Oh, I'd have to go back and. That is one I did not watch that closely. I was getting a snack or I was doing something. It wasn't my piss break match. I just,
Well, I got up to pull my laundry out of the dryer, thinking, cruiserweight match is coming up next. It takes them such a long time to change the ropes. I got plenty of time to do my laundry. Hell, I'll probably have time to take out the trash and have a cigarette before the match ever starts. Unfortunately, the match started while I was doing all that. I didn't even finish laundry before the match started. I don't know who the hell they hired to change the ring ropes, but they must have brought in the Flash or something.
They're getting good at that, aren't they?
Yeah, they had that all set up and started pretty damn quick because it doesn't take me long to pull my laundry out of the dryer, and I wasn't even halfway done with my laundry and the match was starting.
Yeah.
But there was a botch in this match. I'm actually surprised that Rich Swann is still the champion after all of this because he was the one that botched. He went to do a leapfrog on Brian Kendrick, and I don't know if he mistimed it, messed up his jump, or what, but he completely brought his thigh right across Kendrick's face.
Oh, jeez.
Instead of getting above him like he was supposed to. But if you watch the move, you can see it was clearly Swann botching, not Kendrick.
Mm.
And if I was Kendrick, I would have had words with Swann in the back later because Kendrick is probably one of the most knowledgeable guys in the business. This is a guy that is trusted enough to take a fledgling wrestler that needs some extra help under his wing and try and show them what they're doing wrong and help them improve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so to have a guy like Rich Swann botch a leapfrog, not even a regular move, it's just simply jumping over your opponent. That's all it is. It's not like you're delivering a power bomb or a suplex or a snapmare. You're just jumping over your opponent.
Yeah.
If I was Kendrick, I'd have had words with him in the back. I'm not saying I'd have gotten heated.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it would have been some big deal. I'd have had words with him though.
Yeah.
And if I was Vince, I'd have gone and said, I don't know why you kept the title tonight. Guess what you're doing on Monday?
Oh, damn.
And the reason I say that is because if I'm the boss and I see someone botch a simple thing like jumping over their opponent like that,
yeah,
I'm going to say you're not ready to hold that belt. You need to drop it until you're ready.
And it could have been a complete accident, like he slipped a little or something. Who knows? I'd have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, like I said, go back and watch it. It's clear that he botched.
Okay.
Other than that, though, I think they did a pretty good job with this match. I didn't get to see the whole thing because, like I said, I was doing stuff. I went out and caught a couple minutes of it when Rowdy rewatched it because he kind of dozed off towards the end of Rollins and Jericho. He caught the end of it but fell back to sleep before the triple threat started. But after rewatching it, Rowdy's opinion is that he thinks all cruiserweight title matches should be triple threats from now on. He had a really great spot at the end, from what Rowdy was telling me. Where they were trading blows, and Kendrick came back in and was going after them, and they hit Kendrick, super kicked Kendrick in unison, and then went back to exchanging blows with each other, and it was right after that they took it home.
Oh, that remember. Yeah, I do remember the finish on that. Yeah, that was
Do you
good.
remember what
It
happened?
happened. It happened so fast. I had to like rewind it again and like I blinked and missed it. Like all of a sudden there was a pin after the double super kick. I was like, holy crap! Wait a minute, what happened? It was a spinning back kick that Swan did to T.J. Perkins.
Do you remember what happened after Swan retained?
Oh, that was like the best part. One of the best parts of the whole night.
Damn right.
The
Corey
return.
Graves.
What?
Okay. All right. I'm gonna need to rewind this for you and take you through this kind of step by step. Neville comes walking down to the ring, and commentary's talking about, and by commentary I mean Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Austin Aries, because I guess he does commentary on 205 right now.
Aries does, yeah. He was even on Raw tonight. It's like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were talking about how Neville and Swan are really good friends. Neville gets in the ring, just goes straight over and lays out Swan, starts beating him down.
Yeah.
Didn't stop there though, but Corey Graves said, "Oh my God, I love this side of Neville. He never displayed this side of himself when we were a team, but I love this side of him."
Oh yeah, yeah. He commented when they were a tag team back in the NXT days a few years ago. Yeah,
You got to feel bad for a guy like Graves. I mean, this is a guy that all he ever wanted to do was wrestle, and due to injuries, he's still a part of what he loves, but he's not doing what he loves.
yeah, yeah. Well, earlier this year, he even got an action figure. So, but yeah,
Wanted Kendrick to retake the title.
yeah.
I didn't get that.
I really enjoy the. I know a lot of people are not a fan of the cruiserweight division and what the cruiserweights are doing. I feel like the cruiserweights are finally starting to gain some steam. Some of them are starting to let out some characters. They're not just going out there and why should we care about these guys? They're, some of them have personalities now. You saw Neville come back and destroy a bunch of them. That was huge. You see this thing like there was on Raw tonight between Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar. There's some mind games going on there with Noam Dar, kind of creepily flirting with Alicia Fox. So there's, they're trying to incorporate little backstage segments and,
Listen, I'd like to just point out something to you. It wasn't just him that flirts with Alicia Fox. Anybody that flirts with Alicia Fox comes across looking creepy.
She's a crazy one. I see a lot of people online saying that the end game of this is Alicia Fox is going to end up with Noam Dar. That'd be interesting. That'd be really interesting. I could see it happening.
Honestly, I see the end game for all of this is that they don't have anything useful to put Alicia Fox into, so she's probably not going to be around a lot longer.
Or she could be banged up and they're just using her as a valet for now. Who knows?
Well, not trying to compare her in-ring talent to Cameron's. No offense, Cameron, but Alicia Fox had more talent in the ring than you. But Cameron was entertaining in her own way. They're like, oh, we just don't have anything for you. We're just going to have to go our separate ways.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, for all you Alicia Fox fans out there, I honestly can see that coming with Alicia Fox.
Oh, we'll see where it goes. I mean, I don't mind that she's with Cedric Alexander right now, and it adds another dimension to someone from the cruiserweights. You know, it adds a little something to the personality. It's, I don't know. So, let's see. Let's go back to the beginning of the show of Roadblock. Let's talk about the tag team championship match. I, for one, was not happy that Cesaro and Sheamus won. I would have been okay with it if they had them win and they were on the same page. They still are doing this back and forth. Oh, I'm better than you. I know I'm better than you. They keep doing that, and it just I just don't feel like they should have done that with someone and then presented this dysfunctional team with brand new belts tonight. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I get what you're saying. I really do. However, I have to disagree with you.
All right.
They do appear to not be on the same page. But the reason I got to disagree with you here is if you saw the finish to the match, those two are clearly on the same page when it comes to what they do from bell to bell. Now, to illustrate my point, Cesaro has his hand out for the tag. Sheamus comes into the corner to make the tag. Cesaro pulls his hand back. Cesaro climbs in the ring like he still got tagged. Kofi goes for the pin. All of a sudden, Sheamus comes running over, rolls Kofi off of Cesaro into a pin. 1, 2, 3. That's how they won the match. Okay?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If they weren't on the same page, bell to bell, when Cesaro was getting pinned by Kofi, best case scenario, you see Sheamus break up the pinfall. But Sheamus realized what was going on when Cesaro pulled his hand back, and he was ready to go in and just turn it into him pinning Kofi.
Yeah.
Clearly, in the portion that matters, they're on the same page. It doesn't matter what goes on outside of the match with those two. If they are cohesive as a unit while wrestling, that's what matters. And they were, and they showed that last night. And in my opinion, the ending of that match showed why it's a good idea to put the belts on them.
Yeah. I just felt like New Day should have kept it till at least Royal Rumble, because now it feels like breaking the record didn't mean anything. It's like, oh, they broke the record. All right, well, now we're done with you.
Not necessarily, because now they hold that record. And what do you think the odds are another team is going to come along right away and get the belts and hold it for that long?
No, it's going to be a long time.
And if you look over the tag teams on the Raw, on both rosters, on Raw and SmackDown, we're not even going to count NXT in this. But if you look over the tag teams on both rosters, there is not a single tag team, with the possible exception of American Alpha, that I could foresee breaking that record in the near future. You know, I could possibly see American Alpha taking the belts in the next couple of months and holding it for over a year. I could possibly see that.
Yeah.
Legitimately, though, I don't see them I just don't feel like WWE is going to give them the belts yet. And I don't see anybody, not even Cesaro and Sheamus, holding the belts for that long, despite how well they worked in that match last night.
Yeah, I mean, they do work well together. I get that. I just don't understand why they keep promoting this. First they're on their same page, then they're dysfunctional. I don't know. It just bugs me. But
from what I heard tonight, from what I heard about their bit tonight where they got the new belts, I actually thought it was a pretty good bit, and I thought it worked really well for these two.
Yeah.
Sheamus, you know what it is, to an extent. It's kind of their nationalities coming into play. I always thought we should have something like a Regal Sheamus tag team of this nature.
Yeah.
You know, where what was one of the big things in the 80s? They were always talking about the Irish versus English.
Yeah.
So what you would have there is you'd have this explosive tag team of an Irishman and an Englishman that you could just not trust them to ever be on the same page. But in the ring where it matters, they're a cohesive unit. I always wanted to see that. So what they've done is they don't really have a good Englishman who's ready for the kind of push that they are giving these two.
Yeah.
They've got a Swiss in there with him to kind of fill in that void of not having the Englishman for him to butt heads with.
Well, Cesaro is one of the most over guys in the company right now. So, yeah, I mean, I'll be fine with it. It just I don't know. It just felt weird last night. It was so abrupt as soon as they broke the record, and then boom, done. What do you think of the belts, though? Do you like the new belts?
Well, I think they should have been green. I kind of liked the fact that being bronze below, in my opinion, SmackDown belts.
Yeah.
And now over like the SmackDown belts. I'm not complaining too much about it. My understanding is they're the same design. All they did was make the plates silver and the straps red. So basically, they're exactly the same as the SmackDown belts, only with the Raw colors instead.
Yeah, I think they're gold. Hang on, let me quick look. No, you're right. They're silver. Just found a picture of them. Yeah, I like them. I mean, they don't look like pennies no more. Whatever, everybody. That's what everybody's complaint was. Oh, they look like pennies. Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, when they were bronze, they did look kind of like giant pennies.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for it. The one thing that I don't like about either belt, better in silver, but the one thing I don't like about either the Raw or the SmackDown belts is that they've got those gladiator helmets on them.
Yeah, I heard someone else complain about that tonight, that they should have gotten rid of the gladiator helmets. I like it because it shows, two people or two figures on the belt, but whatever. Someone oh man, I think it was one of the guys from Gift of Podcast was talking about it. Said something to the effect of, looks like they were bored at lunch one day and they were tossing coins into a pile of ketchup, and that's where they got the ideas. Or something. He said something to that effect. It was hilarious. He said that on Twitter tonight. Shout out to the guys at Gift from Podcast, though. Great bunch of guys. Go check them out. So yeah, Cesaro and Sheamus are champs. The only thing I slept through tonight as far as Raw. I apologize. Hell, it's over 3 hours. I can only do so much. I missed the tag match tonight, which I guess they won. So whatever. But they got the new belts. That's the most important thing. Let's see what else is here from. Did we cover everything?
No, we missed one.
What did we miss? Oh, the Rollins Jericho. What's that?
Yeah, that one.
The Jericho.
I was about to say the other half of the main event.
Yeah, yeah. Rollins versus Jericho. And, oh, man, I got so many of my predictions wrong. This was a good match, though. I don't have too much to say about it. I wanted Jericho to win, but
I don't know if you noticed, but even with all the promos and everything, this pay-per-view was less than 3 hours.
It was a little less than 3 hours. Yeah, it was like 2:45 5-ish, I think.
How do you have, with all those promos in there, which take up the space of your, I mean, because the long drawn out, this is what led to this match, blah, 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 takes the place of your commercials on a typical show, because on a Raw, you have 30-second ads about what led to them facing off. Whereas at the pay-per-views, you've got 4 to 5 minute. So basically that's supposed to cover your commercial time that you would normally have on a commercial broadcast. Of that, how did you still have a pay-per-view that took less time than the show that it represented?
Well, I just checked it on the network, and they listed as 2 hours and 56 minutes. That's pretty close to 3 hours.
It was less than that.
Oh,
I want to say that I was working on bringing my stuff back in my room by 8:45.
Well, was the match done by then, or were the shenanigans done by then?
The shenanigans.
Oh, okay.
Because they were standing over Kevin Owens before I ever even stood up.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, we were actually talking about Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho, which was the third longest match on the card.
What was that at?
17 minutes, 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I really don't have too much to say about it. It was a decent match. I was kind of wanting some Triple H in there, some little bit of shenanigans, but and I was even more surprised that we didn't get it tonight.
I had a problem with this match.
Okay.
Jericho, being the experienced ring veteran that he is.
Yeah.
To me, I don't feel like the ending of the match fit his character. He lost to Fandango at WrestleMania. Let's not even go there, because even Fandango's like, let's not go there. But he allowed himself to be distracted at the end of this match. I get it. That's the way it was booked. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. I feel it was outside of Jericho's nature. Yeah, he's volatile. He'll argue with pretty much anybody, even his best friend. And it was all building up to what was going to happen in the main event when he came out and got Reigns disqualified, giving Owens the win. I get that. It all led up to that, and them showing that they were actually still best friends. I get all this. However, Rollins was distracted by Owens, and rather than taking advantage of it, which is what the Jericho character would do, he allowed himself to be distracted by Owens and let Rollins take advantage of it. It felt out of character for me. That's just my opinion. I didn't hate the ending. It felt off.
I hear you. Yeah.
And honestly, that was my only problem with this match in particular. I enjoyed this match thoroughly from beginning to end, from bell to bell. I enjoyed every second of it. I just felt that the ending was a little off from what Jericho's character is known for doing. I mean, he takes advantage of the littlest thing, and yet at this point, he decided to yell at Owens instead of take advantage of Rollins being distracted.
Yeah. Interesting part of the fallout from all of this is that Kevin Owens is facing Roman Reigns in the main event at the Royal Rumble. And the funny part of it is, which we saw throughout tonight, and even at the end of the night, which when they went off camera, there's footage that has come up that both Jericho and Owens were stuck in the cage and raised above the ring. I'll have to go do a little searching. I would not be surprised if this footage ended up on WWE.com sometime later within the next 24 to 48 hours. I thought the beginning of Raw tonight was hilarious. And holy crap, what the hell was Foley wearing tonight? Jeez Louise.
I don't know. I know that he's about to be on a medical leave.
Yeah,
and it was actually an unintentionally funny part in the Sami Zayn Braun Strowman match last night.
Yeah.
Because of course Mick was wearing his sweats last night when he brought the towel down.
Yeah.
When Sami Zayn went to climb up Mick to tell him no, don't throw the towel, he actually grabbed a hold of the sweats at one point, and you see Mick actually get a hand on the sweats and hold them up so that Sami didn't accidentally pants him.
I'll have to go back and look at that. That's pretty damn funny. But holy cow, has Mick lost a lot of weight. Props to Mick. Jeez Louise, the guy weighs less than I do right now, and that makes me feel really self-conscious. He's at, what, 236?
Yeah, he definitely weighs less than I do.
Holy crap. So cheers to you, Mick, for, losing all that weight. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be taking some time off soon, hopefully, to get whatever all done he needs done. I heard hip surgery, something like that, which, of course, losing weight will help with that.
My understanding is that it's a full-on hip replacement.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably what Scott went through, because I think he had the same thing. Scott Hall.
Oh, God, Scott Hall.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm not sure what to believe about.
Yeah, he's been quiet lately.
Well, here's the thing. The video of him in the bar in Atlanta that we talked about,
Yeah.
I kind of think might have been an older video. I think it happened sometime before DDP got a hold of him. And I think somebody released that video when they did to cast a little doubt on what the situation was with him.
Yeah, it could be. I know he's fallen off the horse a couple times, but,
I told you guys I saw him at Cauliflower Alley Club, right?
I think you did.
He was out there with DDP and Jake. He took off as quick as he could after the banquet.
Yeah.
And I found out the next day, I think it was, he gets a little nervous when he gets into that big of a group of people.
Yeah.
It kind of makes him start thinking about drinking, and that's why he runs out and tries to stay clear of the big pressing crowd like that coming to talk to him.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But I gotta say, him and Jake, I'm very proud of them and what they've done with DDP. I'm very proud of what DDP has done for them. I hope DDP can help more people. I know that he reached out to Sunny at one point. I really wish that had gone better. Maybe she wouldn't be in jail right now.
Yeah, she's a hot mess.
She may be back out, but I do know that she recently went back to jail.
Yeah, something with her. I don't know. I've heard a lot of stuff about her lately. I haven't heard anything recently, but yeah, I did hear that she finally ended up in jail. So, yeah, not a pretty sight for her.
I'm gonna be honest. DDP does a lot of great things for a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
you can't help everybody though. It's impossible.
No, and they also have to want to get help too. That's the biggest part of it. You can't just tell somebody to show up at your place and, join the what do they call that? The crib.
I don't remember, but
DDP calls his house the accountability crib, something to that effect.
What I do know is when I ran into Jake on the gaming floor at Gold Coast after the banquet.
Yeah.
And I actually went over and talked to him. He'd been scheduled to come out here to do a show with us a few months prior and had ended up in the hospital for a few days, was pretty sick, unable to make it. And actually, people were a little worried about his chances. And, but I went over and I told him, I said, I know you give DDP a lot of credit for what he did for you. I know a lot of others do too, but I got to tell you, I'm very proud of you because you had to want to do this, or DDP couldn't have helped you. It wouldn't have mattered what DDP did for you if you didn't want to do this. And the same for Scott. I mean, you guys, I got to be honest with you guys. I am so proud of the changes that you wanted to make, that you guys allowed DDP to help you make, that have brought you to this point. And I just want you to know, Jake, that I'm glad that I can have this conversation right now with you and not be wishing that this had happened, that this conversation had the possibility of taking place. But I just want you to know, Jake, that I'm proud of you. I really am. And
that's pretty cool.
And he thanked me for it. You know, I think he was kind of looking at me going, oh, great, another one of those crazy fans. But he really is a good guy, and I'm so glad that he wanted to make the change.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is inspiring. I'm sure he's inspired a lot of people since the whole documentary came out. If you want to go watch the documentary, as far as I know, it's still up on Netflix. If you're have the Netflix, that's where I watched it. Or you can order it on DDP's website or Jake the Snake's website. So, yep, good stuff.
If you don't have Netflix, it's only $9.99.
Yeah. There you go. It went up in price. Yeah. Let's see what else happened. Any points from Raw? Overall, a pretty good show. You know, I know there's some people that just can't stand Raw lately. I felt like the last few Raws have actually been pretty good. Enzo Amore was in sensitivity training and then ended up getting his ass kicked by Rusev and someone who he was in sensitivity training with, Jinder Mahal. Thank you. I couldn't think of his first name. What do you think of the possibility of? Well, it's like we never see him. You know, it's like you forget about him once in a while. What do you think?
Unless you're Eva Marie, then his name is Ginger Mahal.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think of the possibility of them maybe putting Rusev and Jinder Mahal in a tag team together? Would you like to see that? Because me personally, I actually would. Number one, you'd actually be seeing Jinder Mahal being used for something positively. And number two, it would just make Rusev stronger, I think.
Honestly, I don't think it's a good fit. That's my opinion. Could it be intriguing? Maybe. I think it would definitely be a great boon to Jinder's career because, I mean, what the hell else is that guy doing right now? I mean, even, to be honest with you, with the time I've spent watching Raw, the last thing I saw him involved in that was even the least bit high profile and memorable was when he attacked Heath Slater so he could get the contract.
Yeah, and they really haven't done crap with him since. He's been on Superstars. Now they canceled Superstars. I don't even know if they tape stuff for Main Event anymore. Because I don't think that's even on the network. But yeah, it's, you know, they brought back a couple of these guys like him and Kurt Hawkins and just haven't been doing crap with them. So I say why not make them a tag team? And I think it could really help them both, in my opinion. But that's me.
But here's the thing. Okay, Rusev has been a pretty good mainstay on Raw for how long now? So it's very possible that this will hurt Rusev to team him up with a guy like Jinder that has never been able to get over. When he was with when he was with three-man band. Okay, you know what? I'm going with what I said at first because honestly, Drew Galloway and Jinder Mahal were basically forgotten in that group, and they were forgettable. To be fair, the whole thing of that group was Heath Slater trying to put together some outcasts. Yeah. And I think Heath Slater had a better group of outcasts when he actually did the social outcasts. I actually really kind of miss the social outcasts at this point. But to be fair, Drew is very talented, but he's very overlooked by management.
Yeah.
Heath Slater was the most noticeable in the group, in my opinion, and he was still overlooked. Right now, he's possibly got the best thing going in his entire career.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a pretty high profile thing going on over on SmackDown. Very interesting what's going to happen on there between he and Rhino. So, let's see. We talked about the new belts, talked about Neville, Braun Strowman running roughshod all over everybody. What's that?
Bayley defeating Charlotte.
Oh yeah, we can touch on that. That was that was a really good match. That was really good. So that's actually three. She's actually 3-0 on her now.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
This wasn't for the belt, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was just a challenge. That's all it was. It would have been hilarious if it was for the belt.
I don't think they face off for the. I don't think we're going to see them face off for the belt till a pay-per-view, like Royal Rumble or something.
It'll be Royal Rumble, and it'll be some head games. Who knows? We're probably even going to see Flair get involved somehow, and pep talk Bailey or something. Who knows?
Well, as long as we don't see Dana Brooke get involved.
Oh, see, I like her.
But now that we've brought up Dana Brooke, that kind of makes me remember Emma. Why? What need was there to repackage Emma? I feel like the incarnation of Emma we saw before her surgery was good enough. I think that it was over. I think it was a very good packaging for her. Now you just got to put her in a story.
Oh, her as a heel when she was down in NXT and working with Dana Brooke was incredible. And the fact that they finally brought her back to the main roster as that character with Dana Brooke right after WrestleMania was great. I loved it. I was like, finally, Emma has, paid for her sins down in the purgatory of NXT. And, she gets a chance to show off because Emma really is good. I mean, she really worked on that heel persona down there for a long time. And I feel it's great. I don't understand this whole, they did not need to repackage her and do 8 weeks, 2 solid months, if give or take a week of promos, and hey, she's gonna be here next week. How many times have we heard that? Oh, she's coming soon. Great, we heard it again tonight, and it's like, you know what? Use her or let her go. Seriously, she's one of my favorite. God, I get stuck in the Divas thing. We had the Divas for so long, I almost called her Divas again. She's such a talented woman. She really is. And man, she could shine so bright. It's like, hell, just throw on, do something with her. Jeez Louise. I don't understand what the holdup is. You know, they could have put her in that spot tonight when Sasha Banks came out all banged up. They could have had Emma. What do they call her now? Emelina. Oh my God! What the hell is that, Emelina? Jeez Louise. They could have had her come out in that spot and clobbered her, and boom, there's your return. Make a statement. Clobber the former champ. That would have been perfect. Nia Jax got that spot though, which is like, fine. You clobbered the ex-champ, but now Sasha Banks is banged up, so you really can't have a feud out of that. So now what is Nia Jax going to do now?
Honestly, I think it would have made more sense, and not that I would have supported it, but I think it would have made more sense for her to attack the current champ.
Oh, Nia Jax?
She's torn through, and albeit they're jobbers, but she's torn through everybody they have put in front of her, right?
Oh yeah.
So at this point, you gotta think she's expecting it to be time to go after a title run.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Which I don't think she's ready for a title run, but I can see at least facing the champ. I can see that. I'd be okay with that.
Have Charlotte be the one to overcome her.
Something, yeah. Have her go through some legit women, not just the crazy ones. You know. So who knows? I don't think there's anything else to touch on. Jax, Rusev. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I felt like it was a solid Raw, and I felt like it was a pretty decent pay-per-view. We're going to discuss this more in length later this week on the Ramblin' About Wrestling podcast. Oh, excuse me. We'll have Dizzy and the Baron with us, and I've heard that there's some preparations to have a either a year-end special or something at the beginning of next year, and possibly bring an old Rambler back.
Old is right.
Yeah, I heard Bubba's going to come back for a show. That's pretty cool.
Although I feel like I got ignored when I finally got to be a part of the conversation.
Oh, I might have been. You know what? I had family there that day. I'd have to go back and look at it. It was. I don't think it was intentional.
No, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking about one person in particular. It's been over 24 hours since you guys talked to him. I made a comment in that conversation, and he hasn't said anything to me in over the 24 hours. I don't think Bubba likes me. But then again, I'm the asshole of the group, so, you know.
No one likes you, dumbass. No.
No, it should be. And you can all go to hell if you think otherwise.
We hate you and we love you, Max. That's how it is. So that's going to do it for this Roadblock end of the line review and fallout discussion here on Smash This Podcast. Any last thoughts, Max, before we wrap this puppy up for this late Monday night?
No, the puppy thing is my line, spay and neuter your pets. What an asshole. Actually, yeah, I got one thing to say. Finn, where are you, man? We need you back.
Oh, Finn Balor? Yeah, he is greatly missed. I say springtime. I don't think we're going to see him at Rumble. I think possibly a month or so before Mania.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised to saw him as the surprise entrant.
I think it's Yeah. I'd like to see that, don't get me wrong, but I think it's too early. I know he really doesn't want to rush it. So, but we'll see.
Oh,
I'm sure there's going to be plenty of surprises that night. I can think of a few right off the top of my head, but that's a discussion for another time. So, for this asshole, I'm JAYBONE, and I say thank you for listening tonight, and we'll talk to you real soon down the road. Good night, folks.
Good night.